Oh, man.
I'll be right back. I gotta switch radios.
Oh, no. Countywide radio on the Classic Radio Roundup. 27115 on the AM radio dial.
Well, all right.
Is that you, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Bite Buster. A little noisy tonight. Residual skip or something. What about your coax?
I took a section out.
You took a section out.
Yeah, for some reason I had it pulled up in the ceiling. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a little rough. I got residual skip noise or something. I think you said it was coiled in the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, maybe you thought it was a good idea at the time.
Yeah, probably I was going to move it to the other side of the room, and I just left a little extra. But I figured I'll take it out. Maybe it'll do better.
Well, it depends how much, the lengthwise, whether it's going to make a real difference or not.
It was about 10 foot.
Yeah, 10 foot's not going to be measurable.
Good grief.
Yeah, that's what I say.
This is becoming a problem. Well, let me check my mic here, make sure. Yeah, I guess that's good enough.
Well, that's why there's a Classic Radio Roundup warm-up section. Session to work out all these issues beforehand.
Yeah, well, my issue now is that stinking constant carrier on 27120 radios that don't have sufficient bandwidth skirts. That damn thing comes squeaking through and impedes my ability to hear people.
Yeah, well, that could be a problem. And yeah, those problems are a little harder to deal with than your other problems.
Yeah, I mean, if it's, outside my control, then, there's not a heck of a lot I can do about it.
Yeah, and those are the worst kind of problems, the ones that are outside your control.
I just need to figure out what the heck it is, and what its purpose is, and what the heck.
Well, those kinds of problems, at least I don't have. I got plenty of others, but interference problems are not something that I need to deal with.
Yeah, I know. It's bad enough I've got noise and all this other crap up here, and now I've got this.
Yeah, just added to the regular noise. Now you got additional noise.
Yeah, it's a weird looking signal. I mean, I've looked at it on the spectrum analyzer, and it looks like it's got like a square wave buzz in it. And like I said, I'm not sure what its purpose is. It doesn't seem to convey any information unless it's somehow buried in that square wave. But I don't, hear any variation in the tone or anything. So I'm not sure what the heck its purpose is.
To drive you insane, interfere with your communications.
Yeah. Be 5 kilohertz off.
Yeah, just enough to be there and be annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I could run, I've got, ham radios with narrow filters and stuff like that to get rid of it, but, that's not the point of Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from the whole classic radio.
gain. That's tight enough, but I got other radios that I like to run occasionally. So tonight, I guess I have to settle for the Midland 13898B, and I can still hear a little bit of it here, but it's not as bad as the last radio. I had my realistic TRC 46 on, and it's a nice radio to run, but yeah, its price is wide as a barn door. I guess I could forget running a Trinidad.
Yeah, the Trinidad would not be the first choice with that kind of interference. There's no sharp skirts on that passband.
No, not unless you want to add them. I do have a filter kit, but yeah, no. I'm not going to get into trouble with doing that.
Well, medium wave conditions were pretty good tonight. Started off a little shaky, but they gradually improved, which is kind of typically the case this time of year.
Yeah, I heard two guys in there talking. I guess it sounded like very weak and somebody else. And both of them, I guess I could say, were fading in and out. Get a little strong, and then they go away, and a little stronger, and fade away again. When I got a little stronger, they overcame my noise level, but when they faded away, they were down in the noise.
Yeah, it was Mike SLK up around Sudbury. He's a regular. And I only got out of there about maybe 8 minutes to the top of the hour. I got out of there, went to the potty break, got a fresh drink, fed my raccoon, patted Miniman on the head, and came back down and started the video gate. And then it was nothing but skipland noise. And then I made noise, and you said, hold on. And then Bitebuster checked in. So Bitebuster's out there, so I don't know if you can hear him or not.
Oh, I can't at this point. And if I point the antenna towards him, it's pointing it closer to the interference. I can null it out. If I go a little bit further to the south, I can null it out. But, yeah, it doesn't help. I didn't hear any skip. When I first turned the radio on, it was quiet. Well, as quiet as it can be here. I think I was only getting an S5 noise level, but I guess maybe the interference was blocking any skip that I should have probably been hearing. And I sat down and I'm looking at the meter. I'm going, what the heck? And then I'm like, oh, it's on channel 13 and 14. Oh, I know what that is. So then I had to try this radio, but this one's not a lot better. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. I might have to switch to something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I got some low-level skipland noise, and it's that unusable kind where just a bunch of signals all blending together, but not real strong signal strength, that kind of roar background thing going on. But I am on a sensitive receiver. The Shakespeare 740's got pretty good ears, and I did hear a break. So, break, it's your turn. I think that was Blue Max, but he's in the skipland noise. If that is him, is that you, Blue Max? It is Blue Max. I recognize the voice, but I can't really tell what you're saying.
I'm going to swing the antenna around here. Let me see if I can hear him. There he is. How's it going, Blue Max?
Well, not too bad. All things considered. Last time I talked to you guys, I was having all sorts of trouble. It took me probably 3 weeks to locate the problem, and it was a water leak. This probably has been with me all summer and into winter.
A water leak?
Yeah, right into it. Right into the
So where was the water coming from? Was it like running off your roof or something, or you got a plumbing leak?
No, I have this. I'm sorry. My antenna's on the other side of the house. So my cable runs out the window, under the deck, around the house, and through a storm with you.
So where was the water coming from? Was it coming off the roof?
Yeah, rain, snow, whatever. I mean, when the wind blows, the window gets wet.
Okay, so, all right, so you had a water intrusion problem, and I guess the associated corrosion that goes with it.
Yeah, so I got lucky. I was figuring it was maybe having to cut the coax and redo the end, but I let it dry out for like a week and blew a bunch of air on the system with the fan, and it worked.
Yeah, you're going to have to come up with a more permanent solution so it doesn't happen again.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. Hey, Pete, can you hear me now?
I hear you like 90% of the time, and then the noise level comes up and I lose you. But I am copying pretty much 90% what you say.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm being heard a little bit. We'll see how those. And Bagger, I'm really sorry to hear about you having a problem there.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pointing right at it right now, but you're stronger than it is, so it's a win. But now I noticed another problem. My rotor box indicator seems to be jumping around now. When I took that thing down and cleaned everything up, I fixed it, but now it seems like it's going around again.
I had a problem with my TV rotor.
What part of Michigan?
There, and it would, the power would jump off and on and off and on and off and on. It would take me like a matter of a few seconds to.
No doubt, got it's coming back to me. I'm just working this old big old 72.
Yeah. And now that I'm pointed this way, I'm hearing more skip too. That's a bummer.
Line back on the map.
No down-getters allowed. This is classic radio roundup.
Yeah, no mail reading, no wave handing, no getting on down.
Okay, Superbug, no doubt. Hear you and a few other stations.
All right, well, it's good hearing you again, and hopefully everything's working all right, radio-wise and all. You can hear the signal's good down here. I'm hearing you no problem until the skip starts opening its mouth again. Yeah, usually that nonsense goes away after, a couple of hours.
To the west side of Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan, 2500 with that wave right back.
Oh, man, I don't know what's worse, interference or skip. Anyway, time to move the antenna around again.
Yeah, especially when it's skipped, it's doing nothing but mail reading, wave handing, and getting on down.
Yeah, no read mailers, no wave handers, no down getters, the whole that nonsense. Get out of here.
I appreciate that water gate. Yeah, we've been playing with this old Straker 447.
Yeah, well.
Oh, EQ box too.
I thought that the summer E-skip would be on its way out, but
Hours north of me. I'm right up here on the west side of Michigan, literally. We're sitting right on Lake Michigan, so. Yeah, you join, you take care down there. You're smoking up here in West Michigan. You join down south. 2500 Muskegon, Michigan. Easy on back.
Hey, Michigan, take that wave handing and that mail reading. Take that somewhere else. This is the Classic Radio Roundup channel. We don't play with skip land, so take that noise somewhere else. Dude, Dave, I go to the horizontal beam, and I couldn't even tell you were there.
oh no.
Oh yeah, that guy was giving me like 20 dB over.
reason to not run horizontal.
I just wanted to see how strong I could pick them up.
Good copy. I hear that station down there in Florida. Boy, you guys are all making a whole bunch of noise up here. Nevertheless,
I thought I'd give him my 2 cents worth, but you know.
on the top side of me.
Yeah, I started hearing that nonsense when I was talking to Blue Max. Couldn't get the antenna moved around fast enough.
Well, I still hear him on the stick, but at least you're stronger than he is. But I go to the horizontal beam, that changes the equation drastically.
5 something and then 327. I did.
Yeah, it's nice to have choices, you know, if you want to go one way or the other.
2,500.
Well, there's only one way that I go. You know, I don't play all that, you know, shaved blue hair, you know, nose ring nonsense.
Oh, what's going on here? Wow, I'm the wrong frequency. Now I'm back. But then that's not good because that means, well, I'm way off. I'm way over on the clarifier. Shouldn't be doing that.
From the Keystone, triple
And of course, I move further up in frequency. That means I'm closer to the interference. Look at that.
Well, looks like you need to start splitting some differences.
Yeah, that was about 200 or 300 hertz low. Now I'm close. This radio used to be dead nuts on. I don't know what happened now. You know, these crystals get a little aged, and they decide to go their own way.
Well, it's not just crystals. This radio's PLL, and it's off a little bit, and I don't know how to get it back.
Yeah, there's got to be trimmers in there, I would think. But a lot of those Panisonic chassis 40-channel PLL radios are the same exact way. They're a little bit, they're like a half to, 400 hertz low. And, it seems that they seem a lot more like that. And we got to wonder if that's the way they always were.
Yeah, and that's about where it is. And there's only a screw or two on there, and they don't change frequency.
Yeah, that's weird. That's just weird.
You would think there'd be a way to trim that off, you know? And if I'm not mistaken, there's a reference crystal in there, right, for all that?
Yeah, but then I don't know if there's still a crystal that's down in the tube section that mixes for transmit and receive. There's two different, there's still an 11275 thing, and then there's a trimmer on it. If that's the case, you can certainly ship that.
Yeah, well, it's never really been an issue. It's just something you see on the frequency counter, but it's not far enough off for, people other than you to notice.
And I wouldn't notice on this radio. It's not narrow enough. I'd probably notice on the high gain.
Yeah, L05 would notice if he was running his ICOM. He'd tell you your peak is not on center.
Yeah, that spectrum scope going on. Yeah.
He liked to point that out when he could.
Well, he was the self-appointed frequency police.
Yeah, well, I guess somebody's got to self-appoint themselves to something.
Yeah. I got a big old frequency scope.
Whatever makes you feel important.
Yeah, you got to do something, I guess.
There's a job for everyone, and for everyone a job.
That almost sounds communistic.
Oh no! Don't get me rolling. Dave already had me spun up earlier, and he goes, "Wow, that worked." I said, "What worked?" He goes, "You were popping a lot of peas, and you didn't trip." But I just wanted to see if he was testing out my transmitter.
Oh, you wanted to see if you would hit a couple of high spots and trip it out, huh?
Yeah, he was impressed. You popped a lot of peas and you didn't go away. Like, yeah, I think I got this thing pretty well dialed in now. that last little session last week we had in discussing waveforms and all that kind of stuff got me better dialed in.
Oh yeah, get your peaks in order.
Well, it's the negative peaks that do me in. As long as I keep those under control, I let the positives fly.
Yeah, as long as you have enough headroom available, then let them fly. That won't be the problem. Unless it exceeds 1,500 watts or whatever, then it might trip then. But as long as you got enough headroom, you're good. Yeah, the negative, yeah, that's the one that you got to watch out for. And usually, if you can set the clipper for 90% or 95% negative, then you're good.
Yeah, and that's about where I'm at. And I was popping some peas, and I was watching it, and I may have hit, 100%, maybe just here and there, like slightly kind of thing. But my positives were, what was that? So 2 divisions. I was almost, if not, at 3 divisions.
Okay, so carriers at 1 division, 100% at 2 divisions. So 3 divisions would be 200%.
I was close to it, if not on it.
Yeah, because let's see, it's twice the voltage is 4 times the power, so you're going twice and twice again, so that's an 8-to-1 peak. 8 times the power for whatever your carrier is.
So was that 8 times 160 watts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying. He was making me try and figure that out on my own. He wouldn't give me the answer. That's 1,280 watts PEP.
Right, so you still have a little bit of headroom left because if that's a 1,500 watt transmitter, you're still within its limits.
Yep, and I think that's why it's happy. I'm not hitting the negatives, and I'm not hitting 1,500 peak.
Yep, so you're good to go.
It seems to be the sweet spot. It really does. If I put the carrier down less, then my positive peaks really fly, and I get closer to negatives, and it gets dangerous. And if I put the carrier up higher, I need to roll the gain back also, because then I seem to run out of headroom because I'm getting too close to 1,500. So this 160 watt neighborhood, it really seems to be the sweet spot for full modulation with extra headroom and not tripping out or nothing. I think I'm right where I need to be. I don't see any reason to change it at this point.
Nah, I wouldn't see any reason to either. Seems to be working. And when it's working, you don't try to fix it.
Right. I mean, I've learned a lot over the years. If this was, the 1990s or something, I'd have been going for the carrier power. It's all about carrier power. But I've learned in AM that doesn't do any work for you. It's all in the modulation power. That's where the work is.
Yeah, and the CB operators learned that lesson too. I mean, it was always, about the big dead key back in the 70s. Everybody had their Phantoms and their Mavericks and all them other amplifiers, cranked up. And of course, they were driving them with radios that were already peaked to, 6 watts or whatever. And, you were getting that really big heavy-duty carrier numbers. But then when you would talk, it would backswing on an average reading meter because you didn't have the headroom. And it always sounded a little pinched and a little fuzzy, because you were not able to fully reproduce your peak positive modulation. You couldn't do 100% positive. So then, I guess in the 80s, 90s, they went the other way. They went nutty with swing. It's like, I put out 5 watts of carrier and 500 watts of swing, and it's like, it's always a little bit's good, a lot must be better, but there comes a point where no, you're overdoing it.
Yeah, I think I've stricken the right balance. So like let's just round things off and say 1,300 watts, or 1,200 watts PEP. Let's go with 1,200 watts for easy math. So So that's 300 watts carrier. I can run 300 watts carrier and still get 1200 watts PEP, but I think I'm better off at the 160 watts with 1200 watts PEP because they only need the carrier for the receiver to lock on. It's the audio where all the information's carried. So I'd rather have the bigger power in my audio than the bigger power in my carrier if my peak power is going to be the same.
Congratulations, you just made the case for single sideband.
Oh God! Well, no. I like fully modulated amplitude modulation. Gotta have the carrier.
Yeah, but you keep reducing it. You know, it's reduced carrier, full modulation. You know, because if you were full A3 modulation, you would be 100%. 4 times the carrier and for peak, but you're 8 times the carrier. You're slowly reducing your carrier. You can keep reducing that carrier until it's gone, and now you have sideband.
Yeah, but I won't. Yeah, no, it's just not the same thing. Still gotta have the carrier. But yeah, I see where you're going. No, I'm not reducing my carrier any more than where it is.
Yeah, it's all good, man. You just don't drive those. As long as you're not driving the receiver AGCs crazy, because on AM you tend to run fast AGC, and a super swingy signal plays havoc with them.
Well, if I was doing that, I'm pretty sure Very Weak would let me know that what I'm doing is not kosher. But if I don't have his direct approval, I'm pretty certain I've got his tacit approval, which is enough.
Well, yeah, his tacit approval, in other words, is not his disapproval.
Right. He won't come forward, give you accolades directly, but he'll hint to the fact. But if you're screwing it up, he'll let you know.
Well, that's good. You always want somebody to let you know. You don't want to be making a fool of yourself and not know it.
So with all that said, I'm getting pretty well satisfied with the DIY. It does what I need it to do, and it does it well. That finally took me, all this time to figure out how to do it right.
And now you can just reach over and knock on some convenient piece of wood that it doesn't decide to die on you again.
Simulated wood grain vinyl.
Because now you don't have a guy who's going to fix it.
No, but there is a what do you call it? I don't know. There's a forum or a group on the net that is formed of all the smart people around. They're gathering all the documentation for that, and they will support it, whether directly or indirectly. There's going to be people out there to help.
Well, yeah, I'm not surprised by that because the guy who designed it and built it is gone. But there's a number of people out there that are using the transmitter, and there's going to be times when people are going to need support. And yeah, there are equally smart people out there that can take his design and maybe make improvements or at least help other people figure out how to replace the parts that are going bad or figure out what's going on there. So yeah, keep your eye on those forums and join in because you are a DIY user. So
yeah, I am, and I am keeping myself abreast, even if it doesn't apply to me directly or currently. Just keeping this stuff in mind and what's going on is going to help me at some point in the future because at some point it may become necessary. So, the thing is all of a sudden become a classic. The people that have them, that like them, are going to want to keep them going, and I guess I fit into that category now.
Yeah, exactly, and. And undoubtedly, there are going to be guys out there that are going to take a look at the schematics and whatnot, and they're going to go, I see room for improvement here, and if I change this, this works better. And there's going to be guys out there that are going to come out with a whole lot of modifications for the thing to improve either its reliability or something. And keep an eye out for that stuff too.
Yeah, I will, and I am, and that's already kind of going on for some of this stuff. And yeah, and I recently caught a line on a 4080, and like I don't have the cash right now, but I think at some point in the future I may want to pick up a 4080 just to have it. But I don't feel the need because the B&W works well there. But now it's like, yeah, now I got it all figured out and I got the audio to keep it going and blah blah blah. Like now I'm semi inclined to pick one up.
Well, you'll have redundant bands on 80, but then you'll be able to use it on 40. But like you said, you've got the B&W, so that does a pretty good job too.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things, like I'm still a ham. I still want it all. I can't have it all, but there's some things that are like, man, that'd be pretty nice to have one of them too.
Yeah. There we go. Closer to the heart.
Where's Wayne? All right, we'll have to do that again in 10 minutes or so. You still hanging with us, Bite Buster? And Bite Buster gave up, and no Wayne. And a whole lot of other people are missing.
Yeah, Sunday night, it was just Wayne and I for the most part. He kept me company.
Well, the wife decided she wanted to go out to a micro brew pub that we've been frequenting and hang out. And I couldn't say no. It's side band Sunday night. That just wouldn't have went over well. I hear a breaker.
Yeah, I'm in Bethlehem. That's Mr. Sandman up here in the Lehigh Valley. Trying to get down that way?
Yeah, good evening there, Sandman. You got the Spitfire. Good to hear you on the Classic Radio Roundup.
Yep, Spitfire. Pleasure in this end. You sounding good as usual, no doubt. I got an old tram running here tonight, and I got her all warmed up. Seems like it's working okay.
Oh, yeah, it's working okay. The tram's sounding good down this way, no doubt about it. I'm working this old Panisonic chassis Shakespeare 740 glow and glass PLL radio.
740 PLL. What was that again? What kind of radio?
It's the Shakespeare 740 Panisonic chassis tube radio with a 40-channel PLL.
Oh, Panisonic. Okay, yeah. They had their hands in CBs also, yeah, way back then.
Well, it's not a Panasonic radio. It's not labeled as such. The make is Shakespeare 740, but it is built or based on the Panasonic chassis, which had a whole lot of names on it, like now my mind's drawing a blank. Gemtronics, for instance. Colt had one. Who was the Yellowbird, Dave? I'm drawing a blank on who the Yellowbird was. Anyway, oh my God, I can't think of them all. There's probably at least a half a dozen or more makes using this chassis.
That would be Robin.
That's it, the Robin Yellowbird, same chassis.
I don't know if you heard me, but Shakespeare makes fishing rods.
Yeah, they make fishing rods, but this ain't no fishing rod unless I'm out there fishing for some DX.
Yeah, they make the fiberglass whips too. I think they were the first.
Well, anyway, the radios I'm talking about, the Robin, Yellowbird, the Gemtronics GTX 5000. Oh, Dave, I can't think of some of the others. The Colt, I forget the Colt model. The Shakespeare, God, I know there's others, and my mind's drawing a blank.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Panisonic, that was always a good brand. I had a big 70 watt per channel Panisonic stereo way back when.
I don't think Panasonic ever actually put their name on one, but they're the makers of it.
Yep, yep.
So it's all tube, but it's got a 40 channel PLL, which I think is a nice, cool little hybrid kind of setup.
Very nice. When you get one that works, that's a keeper there.
Oh yeah, that's a keeper. It's one of my favorite radios. It's got a good hot receiver, and always plenty of audio.
Is that a 40 channel?
That's correct. 40 channel PLL on a vacuum tube radio.
Very nice. Yeah. There's not many of them left, I'm sure.
Oh, they quit making these in '83. I think it was like 80 to '83 that these things ran.
I think it was probably earlier than that.
Well, all right, 77 to '83 then maybe.
Hello to everybody, Bitebuster, everybody else around the band. I'll get to the side, man. Thanks for letting me in there a little bit. Just checking this thing out. I guess it's firing on all cylinders. It's all good. All righty, back out in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The old Sandman waving it down.
Sandman, before you go, what model tram is that?
I was going to guess a D42, but
Yeah, I don't know. You sure hit the switch awful fast.
This is Tram D201A, a 40 channel.
Roger on the D201A. Yeah, it's working. Sounding good.
All right, cool. You got some Spanish people in there talking a little bit here and there. Kind of screws things up a little, but yeah, haven't had it on for a little while, so I figured it's about time to fire it up.
Yeah, you got to exercise them and wet them capacitors once in a while. So glad you fired up and checked in with us here on the Classic Radio Roundup. Yeah, Sandman, I think you said you subscribed to the Video Gate, so obviously I'm running a Video Gate this week, so you'll see what a Shakespeare 740 looks like.
Okay, looking forward to it. Very cool.
I guess it would have been 77 to 83 then, wouldn't it? I guess because they made these in the 23 channel crystals with the same basic chassis, and then when the 40s came out, they put the PLL in, but pretty much the same chassis. So yeah, I guess 77 to 83 would have been their run.
yeah, they probably started right there at 77. I don't know if they made it to 83 though. They may have been out of there because the tube radios died a quick death.
Well, I did some research at some time in the past, and for some reason that 83 sticks in my head. That was the last of the tube radios was made in '83, and it was these Panasonic chassis jobs.
Yeah, wow.
That's what I said. They're still making tube radios into the early '80s, but then that was it. Yeah, I can't quote the source or where or whatever, but that sticks in my head because I do remember looking into it.
Break 13.
Come on, Breaker 13.
Hey, in the Mobile.
Hello, Spam Can in the Mobile. Yeah, that's why your signal's all over the place, but I hear you currently. Oh, God, you must be going down into a valley or further away from me or something. I heard you in there, but then I kind of lost you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not in a good spot. I just wanted to say hello. I hear y'all talking. I'm on the side of it.
All right there, Spam Can. It's been a while since we heard from you. So good to hear from you. If you're up in a good spot, make some noise and pop on in. We'll let you in here. Good to hear from you, Spam Can. Countywide Radio, the Spitfire on this antique flea market junk. Where's Wayne? Another topic of discussion that I was supposed to bring up, Dave, is to be sure that I ask and coax, if at all possible, to get you to the Kimberton Hamfest.
Well, I won't rule it out, but it all depends on whether that falls on a weekend and we go to the mountains or not.
Oh, you got to plan things. Like if it's an every other weekend and it falls on the wrong weekend, then you have to do 2 weekends in the mountains and then one at the fest, because Dave wants you to be there.
All you guys are going to be. I would like nothing better than the rub elbows with the buddies. Yeah, I would like to be there. I really would. Let's see, what date is it?
I think it's August 9th. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
And that's is that a Sunday?
That is indeed a Sunday. August 9th, 8 a.m. at the Kimberton Fairgrounds. Yes.
Okay. Now, see, we're not going to the mountains this weekend, so I think she said something about going next week, and that's the 1st and 2nd, so maybe I can get the 8th and 9th. Yeah, I'm going to put that. I'm going to make a request to the station manager that weekend stay open.
Yeah, so it's not this coming weekend; it's the following. And if it helps your case any, bring her along, because my wife and Ada will be there, and they're going to do their own thing and leave us boys to our own thing, and then meet up again later.
Now, come on now. You know my wife. You know how she feels about geeky hamfests and things like that. I think I'd have a better chance of seeing Elvis running around naked than I would of getting her to go to the hamfest. But I can't ask.
Well, maybe I'm miscommunicating my intentions. Do you think my wife's going to hang out at the hamfest? No, her and Ada are probably going to go down to Phoenixville and shop.
Yeah, well, my wife doesn't really know anything, She's got to get to know people before she feels comfortable.
She knows me well enough. My wife ain't going to harm her, so I don't know. You can throw it out there for what it's worth. It might, she'll bite or she won't bite.
Yeah, well, I don't anticipate anything positive. Although I got some weird vibes from her the other day. She started asking me questions about, I said, I was talking to Wayne on the radio on Sunday. She was, that's the same Wayne we used to talk to back in the day. Yeah. I'm like, oh wow, how's he doing? And I'm like, oh wow, it's like the first semi-interesting, response to anything to do with the radio that I've seen in a while.
Like you didn't get the complete brush off. It actually led into a little bit of conversation, which is encouraging. So that's why maybe just throw that out there. Well, two of the guys' wives are going to get together and go shopping while we're at the Hamfest. So, and then maybe we'll all get together and break some bread or something. I don't know. It's worth a try.
I will present that. This is she. Doesn't hurt. I don't hold out much hope, but it doesn't hurt.
Well, I see it the same way as you do. There's you're not going to lose anything, but there's everything to gain.
Yeah, right? Everything to gain and very little to use. But as long as I can go, that's all, that's the main goal.
Well, ultimately, that is the main goal. But that's how I'm going to be able to get the wife involved, because her and Ada have already, kind of got a nurturing friendship going already. because they've met a couple of times now, and heck, they have their own conversations, texted back and forth and crap now.
Yeah, and the other weird thing she asked me a week or so ago, she says, "Any women get on there?" And I said, "No, not really." I said, and I mentioned that your wife and Dave's wife are all, we're all, it was going to be like chick night on the radio, and I wanted to see what she would say about that. And she's like, "Did she really?" I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Well, I still would like to push for that. And the only way that that's going to happen is Dave's wife would have to push for it to happen. That me pushing for it and my wife, that won't happen. But if I encourage it and she pushes for it, it's more likely to happen. Let's put it that way.
Well, before that can happen, Dave's got to get his antenna back up in the air.
Oh, well, that would be... He has his antenna in the air, but you'd have to go to 10 meter AM, which you can't really do. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can, but it's not going to work well because I don't have the beam isn't tuned for there. And so it's like loading up a set of bed springs.
Well, see, I don't know how much success I would get my wife to get on 11 meters. But to get her on 10 meters AM or any of the ham bands, I'd have a better shot at that.
Oh, she's a CB snob. Okay.
Well, it's not that. It's she doesn't want to deal with it would have to be a clean channel night, you know what I mean? You don't want to hear none of that skip land noise or nothing like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I would think that 13 is, the group we have here for the most part is, devoid of the down-getter mentality and all.
Yeah, it would have to be, a quiet night kind of thing or whatever. Yeah. Well, I'm not ruling it out. But yeah. Well, Dave would have to get his vertical going or something, which he keeps saying he's gonna, but he hasn't made any progress thus far. So, well, this isn't gonna happen tomorrow anyway.
Well, what they say, tomorrows are not guaranteed, so.
It would be kind of cool to get a chick night going. Again, it could get dangerous because if they actually enjoy it, then I lose control of my station.
Well, like I said, I would be very glad to, relinquish the command and control seat here and sit in the office chair there and just, let it fly. I mean, it wouldn't, I'd be all for it. Because she used to talk on the thing, but something set her off in the past. I don't know what it was, but she just, it's like a switch flipped. Went from, willing participant to extreme antagonist. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, yours is a little bit different than mine. Mine was a user, and it's not like she went to a complete antagonist. It was more like apathy, And I think, weirdly enough, she gave it up when Steve was no longer on the radio on 6 meters. And she loved talking to Steve for whatever reason on 6 meters or 220, whatever she could use. And then when that went away, that was when she stopped. So that and she's been on the CB. She was on the CB before she even met me. So, she knows how to use it, and she's enjoyed using it in the past, long before she met me. She used it while she met me, but it seemed like she enjoyed it the most using the repeater on her drive. And then when that one all went away, that was when she stopped using it. Now, here's another possible option, 80 meters AM, because you do a little bit better on 80 meters.
Yeah, I do even better on 40, I think. But well, the 80 meter antenna's still on the roof, so that'll work. Yeah, I don't do well on AM at all. Sideband works out actually the best.
I guess as far as the women are concerned, they wouldn't care about the mode as long as the clarity is there.
Yeah, yeah. And these are all, modern radios. They're not going to drift all over the place.
Right. We'd set it up, turn over the microphones, and let them have at it.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully the conditions don't fade. And, we'll go from there. Maybe we can get Piero's wife to get in there, too.
Strangely enough, they would all be operating under our call signs. Although my wife is licensed and your wife is licensed, they don't have those privileges, and Aid is not licensed at all. So our wives actually have licenses, although they wouldn't be any good there.
Yeah, it is true. But then they could go on the sideband portion of 10 meters there, and then they would be.
Yes, and then Ada would be the only one operating under Dave's call sign, but my wife would get to use hers, and yours would get to use hers if we put them in sideband 10 meters, and your antenna may do better, say if we went to 28.310 or something.
Yeah, 28.310, I could tune that in, and it's usable. Because we used to use 28.412 back in the day, and it worked, reasonably well there.
Or even just make it fun, 28.312.
Yeah, then you'll get a bunch of guys coming in here. You're off frequency.
And that's exactly why I would do it.
No, I'm on the frequency that I'm on.
I know, that's what we always said. How can we be off frequency when we're on the frequency that we're on? It's not channelized.
Yeah, I'm on 28.312. That's what my dial says, so I'm right on the frequency that I'm on.
Yeah, that always irked me, but I had fun with it because, how can I be off frequency when I'm on the frequency that I'm on?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have that channelized mindset. It's obvious they've never used an analog VFO before.
Yeah, right. We're close enough on the dial is all that matters, and you just tune into the guy what he sounds like. The frequency becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, right. Well, you're totally VFO controlled, and you're not digitally locked anywhere. And, as long as you can hear each other, well, that's the frequency I'm on. The only caveat to that is that you've got to make sure that you're not anywhere near a band edge where you could be going out of band. As long as you're, nowhere near a band edge, the sky's the limit.
That's the beauty of the amateur radio service. Us and the military are the only ones allowed to have VFO. Every other service is channelized.
Well, right, because the technical compliance is built into the radio. The ham radio service, the technical compliance is built into the operator by demonstrating his competence in electronic theory and all. So, it's up to you to make sure your radio is doing what it's supposed to do. But other services, they're not meant for technically, competent people. They're meant for operators that may not know, they may not know what they're doing. So, the technical compliance has to be built into the radio. That's why you have type acceptance certifications and things like that, so that the radio cannot be operated in an illegal manner by any of the operator controls.
Yeah, that's a little fun fact that I always like to tell people when they ask about radio. I'm like, well, only us and the military have VFOs. As long as we're within our band, we can go anywhere we want. Where every other service, they're on the channel that they're assigned, and that's all they're allowed to do. And that's just, straightforward, utilitarian communication purposes. Our purpose is more than communication. It's technical knowledge.
And then there's Classic Radio Roundup. Where's Wayne?
It's a really good question. Where is Wayne? So he was in here Sunday night then.
Yeah, he kept me company. We had a nice long back and forth for a while. I'm trying to think who else. I think Bite Buster might have popped in there momentarily. But Wayne couldn't hear him. Oh, and 123 popped in there. We talked to him for a bit too.
Yeah, I haven't heard him though for a while. He was pretty regular for a while, and now it's kind of been a while since I heard him. I wonder what's going on with him.
Didn't seem like anything was. He was. He drove into a spot so that Wayne could hear him a little better, and us being on sideband, it helped out a lot. It's easier to hear things on sideband. Wayne has a lot lower noise level. His heat exchanger doesn't bother him on sideband. But yeah, other than that, it was a quiet night. No Joker, no you, no. Well, Train usually doesn't show up on Sundays, but the usual cast of characters was glaringly absent.
Well, like I said, the wife said, "It's a nice night. Let's go out to the Hidden River Valley, have a cocktail or two, and just sit out on the deck and have a drink." I'm like, well, I really couldn't say no. If I did, I probably would have paid for it in some other fashion somewhere. Yeah, that wasn't. You know how it goes. There's some things you just can't refuse without consequence.
Yeah.
And it was a nice night, so there's that. And I was like, man. And then when you sent me the text, I'm like, oh man.
Way to rub a little salt in the wound, I guess.
Well, I was like, I had to let you know what I was doing. I was like, I wanted to be there, but I'm actually enjoying myself what I'm doing now anyway. So I just can't be in two places at once.
Yeah, that's a job for a clone.
Well, that's how summertime is, though. Sometimes, like there's days where there's nothing going on, and you wish there was, and then you got other days where there's several things going on, and you got to pick something.
Yeah, it's called feast or famine. You can go for days and days and days with nothing to do, and then one day 5 things suddenly appear, and it's like, I want to do all of them, but I can't.
Right. It's kind of unfair.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is most of that stuff happens on weekends because that's when most people have free time. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I also now have weekends, and I'm enjoying. So I'm done at 11 o'clock on Friday night, which is all right. But I got home Friday night. I got on, and there was Jim on 29 megahertz with another guy I never met before, up around Spinnerstown area, and I stayed in there for an hour chatting with them. So that was fun. So that but so I got late Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, all day Monday to do what I want, and then back to work on Tuesday. So, man, I hope this schedule keeps for a while. So a day shift Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 11 to 11 Thursday, Friday. That's a pretty good gig.
So how is your student progressing? Is he actually retaining anything?
Yes, and he seems to be actually applying himself. So I took a gamble on the guy, and it's working out because he's paying attention. And for a couple of hours on Thursday, and maybe an hour or two, depending on whatever, Friday, I kind of hold class with him and or send him on tasks like to draw out a microsystem or go find some information and that kind of thing, or get on the whiteboard and I do some artwork and explain crap just for I'm not overwhelming them, but you gotta give you a couple of hours those 2 days.
Yeah, well, as long as he's progressing, I'm sure the boss probably wants periodic progress reports too.
Yeah, well, he says, I'm going to pull you guys into the office once a week, and we're going to discuss how things are going. Well, this has already been a week and that hasn't happened, but he gets pretty busy and distracted. But I'm going to keep up my end. And so when he does finally realize, oh, I need to see how these guys are doing, we'll have some progress made. The kid's smart. He's just of the generation. He hasn't quite got the work ethic and he's a little immature yet, but he's intelligent and he does want to learn it to a degree. He is interested in it and he seems to want to make it a career. So I'll make the investment as long as he's willing. If he's not willing, well then there's no point in me bothering because hey, I'm already where I'm going to be. It's no skin off of me one way or the other. I'm just doing this to help you, dude. But I'm not getting nothing out of it other than the satisfaction of helping you. But if you don't want to be helped, well, then there goes my satisfaction, and I won't bother.
I can't get no satisfaction.
I always think of that when I hear that song, that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he pops the tape into the Cadillac and he goes into the junkyard or whatever it is, construction site, starts shooting people up. I don't know the name of the movie, but I always remember that scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You remember that?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he goes around. Oh, yeah. I think I vaguely remember watching that movie, but I can't remember what it was. Probably back in the 80s.
Yeah, it was a late 80s, early 90s movie, probably late 80s. And I can't remember it. I used to know the name of the movie, but I can't think of it. I'm sure I could look it up. But anyway, yeah, he's in one of them crappy 80s Cadillacs. And I don't know what he says. He says some, Schwarzenegger line. And he kicks out the windshield and he pops in a cassette and it starts playing I Ain't Got No Satisfaction, and then he goes on his, killing spree of the bad guys driving through, I don't know, like a mining operation or whatever. It is some kind of construction site kind of scene.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in a couple of, movies like that. There was True Lies and there was Kindergarten Cop and I don't know what. Hold on a second.
No, both those movies were after that. Bitebuster had a comment. Would you say, Bitebuster?
I said I like the Devo version of the I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
The Devo version? Oh, no way. Rolling Stones all the way.
I mean, I like the Stones, but I'm just saying that for that song, when you said that verse, just like that's what was going through my head, those guys jumping around with the little hats on.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know the movie I'm talking about? If not the name, but you remember it?
I do not. Yeah, it's not one of those Terminator movies.
No, it's not one of the Terminator movies. But it was in the 80s, almost for certain. And it was Schwarzenegger pops in the cassette in that crappy 80s Cadillac. You remember the crappy 80s Cadillacs? They're like, that's not a Cadillac. Now you're gonna have me Googling this crap.
I think it was called Raw Deal.
That might be right. That might be it. Raw Deal. That sounds familiar.
It is from AI.
Oh, no.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's character famously plays from Detroit, Mark Terry, climaxes scene, said to the Rolling Stones, I can't get no satisfaction.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Raw Deal. What was the year of that movie?
1986.
You say 86? Man, I don't know if you got any more in the pump house, but if you do, I can certainly use it because you were right on the fringe. But copied the 86.
1986, yep.
Yeah, there you go. Now I can hear you. Whatever you did helped. Now, why'd you drop back down?
I don't know what's wrong with this thing.
Man, you went from like, you know, you just drop down an S unit. That S unit helps. Whatever you're doing, that helps. But then you go back down, and it makes it tough.
All right, what about that?
I don't know if that was much different. Now maybe I could put my Yagi on you, and I know I hear you a lot better. But then you say you don't hear me as well, which is ridiculous.
That is weird, huh?
A lot of noise tonight.
Let me just try this out again, just to be sure. Let me put my beam up to the north. All right, hang on.
So now you got a rotor on it?
Yeah, my rotor now works. All right, you hear me on the beam?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're way better on the beam.
Well, I would hope so.
Oh my God, I picked you up 2.5 S units.
Yeah, you sound pretty good. You sound better now than you did earlier, that's for sure.
Now, how come before when I went to the beam, you said it was worse than my stick? Now the beam is better than the stick. Oh my God. But you are absolutely better on the beam than the stick. It's like night and freaking day. Oh my God.
Yeah, but it's a lot quieter now than it was earlier.
Yeah, well, I still picking up noise on skipland noise on the skip, on the stick. But the beam to the north, I'm cutting out all that skipland noise. It's not coming in. I don't hear it.
Oh, that's weird. So you're saying it's coming from the south?
No, it's coming from the northwest and the west.
Oh, okay.
And it's the beam pretty much knocked it out, brought you up to over 2 S units. Oh yeah, that's nice.
And I'm sure you could still hear your local guys down there.
Well, let's see. Where you at, Dave? Can I hear you? Oh, for the love of God. Dave.
He fell asleep.
Maybe he can't hear me off the side of the beam. I would think he would.
Where's it pointing today?
I'm pointed north.
Okay, yeah, it's working good.
Oh, yeah, Sandman. Yeah, it works well for you, too, up to the north.
Yeah, I have a 4 on you.
Yeah, I got like a 9 on you. It's a PDL2, 2-element quad.
I know, yes. There's really good antennas. My friend had one years ago. He put an extra wire on it, I guess, an extra reflector.
Yeah, I don't know about all that unless it's done as yeah. I've read about all that, and I'm an antenna guy, and that don't compute in my brain.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I like it as it is. It works well. Does what it's supposed to do.
I'm on the beam, too. I'm pointing south. Let's see, almost south.
Well, I'm pointed pretty much straight north, and I know that's at Bite Buster, and I think to get on you, I'd have to be probably a little bit more northeast.
I'm a little bit east of him.
Right. So I'm not quite probably peaked up on you, but I don't think it'll make a whole lot of difference. If it, maybe a little, but not much.
I'm sorry, yes, I'm pointed southwest. Correct, Bite Buster. I was turning it a little back and forth, and I was dialing them in. And that's right where I'm at, yeah.
Yeah, this thing's got a kind of a broad lobe, so I just rocked it around a little bit and didn't really make any difference moving over to the northeast.
Yeah, just a couple clicks to the east, from north.
I can't believe Sandbagger can't hear me, though. He should be able to hear me, I would think. What the heck?
Oh, I hear you.
Oh, I thought you would. You didn't answer when I called you.
I'm sitting here trying to find a radio that I can use that I can hear Bite Buster on without getting this damn interference. And I'm not having good luck.
Well, I still hear you pretty good off the side of the beam, but it brought Bite Buster up over 2 S units to me, and Sandman almost the same results, couple of S units.
Yeah, I'm on the Cobra 135 now, and It might be slightly better, but not. I don't know. I think the interference got stronger. I'm gonna have to look at the. S meter again when I have it on the other radio. But good grief.
At what direction is your antenna that interference is the strongest?
Well, I point the antenna north. That's when the interference is the worst.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's where you got to go to get the Bite Buster and Sandman.
Buster is, I don't think he's due north of me. I think he's more northeast, but still in all, it's not much difference there.
Yeah, right. I got Bite Buster to the north, Sandman a little bit more northeast, but you know, just a little bit east of north is good for the both of them.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
You're both giving me the same signal.
Who, Sandbagger and myself?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that, Dave?
Yeah, I hear him fine.
I get more from you there, Pete.
Roger, on the more from the county-wide radio. Are we running the same amount of smoke, Dave?
Actually, no. This radio doesn't drive it as hard. I'm like, carrier-wise, I think I'm maybe 50 or 60.
Oh, wow. So you're basically 3 dB down from me.
Yeah, pretty much. The Midland was about equal to you, but I switched off of that.
So I'm stronger to Bite Buster, but you're stronger to Sandman.
He said we were both the same.
Oh, that's right. He did say the same. Even still. All right, well, that's kind of interesting. Well, I'm not pointed at Sandman, but I don't think a few more degrees is going to matter. You know, it's not like a 5 degree, 22 element Yagi on 432.
Yeah, right.
What happened to Joker? I know he said that he's not going to be recording tonight, but did his antenna blow down? What happened?
I have no current status on Joker or his station, and I haven't heard him tonight.
Maybe he's on vacation again.
Yeah, it must be nice, right? To have it like that. The life of Riley.
Yeah. Could be the storm. Like I said, had some pretty wicked wind yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think my antenna will go down unless my whole shed goes over on its side, which my wife thinks will happen someday.
Well, you're living on your shed. Yeah, I have my ground plan on my shed.
I got a Mosley TA33 and a PDL2 on a tripod mount on the top of my shed. And my wife swears that one day I'm going to come out and it's going to be laying on its side.
If you didn't have all those trees surrounding your place to break up the wind, I bet that would happen. But with all those trees that breaks the wind up, it probably won't happen.
And I agree with your assessment. These trees are a blessing as far as wind goes, blocking it from my low-level antennae.
I think the scenario would be like if the neighbor is hanging out their wash and a sheet came off the wash line, hooked into the PDL, then your shed will go flying.
Oh yeah. If we put a sailcloth across that quad and the wind hits it, yeah, my shed would be laying on its side.
Not gonna knock my shed over. It's got a motorcycle in it, a lot of stuff, a lot of junk in there.
Well, I think that helps ballast my shed there, but Sandman, I got 2 motorcycles in the shed, and I think that works as ballast.
Yeah, unless the floor gets left there and the walls get ripped off and tip over.
Well, yeah, well then I'm screwed more ways than one because my low band antenna tuner is mounted to the ceiling in my shed. So that would screw up all my balance line feeders and make a mess of all kinds of things.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, leave the foundation and the whole building and the rest of the building goes away. Anyway, it's nice to make use of the quad once in a while for the locals, and it works out in my favor. Where's Wayne? And I know Wayne can hear me no matter where my antenna's pointed. Where you at, Wayne? These damn retired guys can't keep track of the days of the week.
That's true. You don't have a payday.
He still has a payday, but he gets his government check now.
Yeah, it probably goes right to the bank. You don't see that, so there's no reminder.
Well, that's true.
But it's funny, if you go shopping, you go grocery shopping, you can tell what day of the week that is. Because it's all old people.
I don't know if he goes grocery shopping per se. He's got a restaurant in walking distance.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I know he makes use of the place. You still playing musical radios over there, Sandbagger?
Yeah, I'm still playing musical radios.
And you haven't just given up and gone to the Utopia?
You know, yeah, I even tried the Yezu, and I can take my whip and move it out, and it kind of knocks it down, but.
Oh, so you just want to use this as an experimental process to see which ones work the best against it, and not go right to the one you know works.
Well, honestly, I don't even know if that one's going to work any better now. I'm surprised. I thought the Cobra 135, the Shiba chassis in it and all, and had decent filtering in it. I figured it might do the job. Nah.
Have you tried to find its proximity of where it's coming from? Have you tried tracking it down at all yet?
I took a drive last week, and it kind of was weird because the signal peaked to a point, and then it kind of dropped, and then it came back up again, then it kind of dropped, and it came back up again, and then it faded off. So it was like a whole area that seemed to be, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with the cable TV equipment or something that they put in the fiber optic nonsense. But I can't imagine what they would need this thing for.
So you think it's traveling along a wire, so it has. I can't come up with the word. Ugh, there's a word I'm thinking of that I can't think of. But it's that whole your description there leads me down that road, and I can't come up with it. Yeah, so I mean, it's like, in other words, I guess it's radiating from basically more than one place because of it's I don't know, a wavelength or a radiating thing in more than one place.
Yeah, but the one complicated factor here is that all of our utilities are underground, so it's not like a telephone pole situation,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't have any overhead wires at all, so you would think buried stuff wouldn't bother you.
You would think.
And this wasn't there like 6 months ago, right? This is showing up in the last 6 months, right?
Yeah, it's probably the last 2 or 3 months.
Just appeared. There it is, and pretty much there all the time.
Yep, 24/7, 7 days a week.
Oh God, it's not like you can even get a break from it.
No, at least the other thing across the other street, that he only uses that on sporadic occasions, and it's on there for exactly a half an hour and it goes away. But this thing, I don't know. I don't even know what this thing is.
Maybe somebody bought a new piece of equipment and they have it on a timer.
Oh, Mike, it's 24/7. It's always there.
Oh, okay.
Showed up about 3 months ago, and it's consistently there on 27 112.
No, 120.
I'm sorry, 120.
Which is the center frequency for ISM devices. So, like I said, I just got to figure out what kind of ISM device it is.
Which encompasses a broad range of crap.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that strong. I mean, it shouldn't be that strong.
Well, one would think that ISM devices aren't that strong, but again, it's the inverse square law. If it's next door, if it's next door to you, strong becomes irrelevant, or signal or power level. It's all about signal strength.
Yeah, that's the weird part about it. It's not really next door. It's a half a block over. And like I said, I'm not sure what its purpose is. If it was some kind of telemetry or some, I don't know, why does it need to radiate this much? What's its purpose? If it's in somebody's house, or is it some kind of internet device? I don't know. Why does it need to radiate so well? Because I point the beam at it and I dial into directly under the frequency. It gives me 20 over.
Yeah. What kind of device needs that kind of signal strength for local usage? Like you can't go a block away with a beam and latch onto your own Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, but listen, if you can transmit off the channel,
and I don't know what kind of,
you got to be breaking that signal.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery, man.
Go ahead there, Bite Buster. You doubled with Dave, but damn if you two weren't. You were like just under him. But what'd you say?
I said if you broadcast on that channel, wouldn't you be messing their signal up as well, and their devices wouldn't be working right?
I don't think not necessarily. I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily, because it could be a one-way device kind of thing, or an incidental radiator. Maybe it's not actually meant for RF use. It just happens to radiate.
Yeah, that's the thing. I might have to put something on there and key up for a while, see if it affects it. But if it's not being received somewhere, then it's probably not even. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be an incidental radiator. But on the side, that was pretty bizarre. Like, Dave, you're like, signal strength wise, like just barely above Bite Buster with the way I'm working right now.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do? You got the antenna pointed up there?
Yeah, I got the antenna pointed at him. You guys doubled, and it was kind of a competition. I mean, you were on top, but I could tell he was there.
Yeah, I gotta adjust my power again. There we go. It was a little too low, then it was a little too high. Now I think it's about right.
Yeah, antennas are fun though.
So I got this weather device that is out in my yard that connects to Wi-Fi, and it constantly does broadcast. Is it something like that, you think?
Not on this band. That thing's probably on UHF somewhere.
I don't know. It's got to connect to my network.
Which is UHF or SHF.
Breaker.
Come on, Breaker.
Wow, I made it. I guess just in time.
Is that Joker? If that is, I think it's you, but man, you're sounding crunchy.
Oops, hold on. Is that any better?
Oh yeah, way better.
Oh, sideband settings. Forgot about that.
No worries, you clean it up now.
Back to normal.
Roger. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Joker. Pick it up with Mike. He was asking where you've been, so here you are.
Yeah, what's the scoop, man? Did your antenna get blown off or what?
No, it's been kind of a pretty hectic week. I started with, I had to take my van for inspection, and I go to move it, and my check engine light comes on again, and I've been fighting that check engine light for every year now. So I throw my quick scanner on it, and it showed throttle position sensor. And I was like, what? So I opened the hood, and apparently I had rodents in the van now. So I had to rebuild a harness for the van so that I could get it inspected Friday.
Oh, man, that sucks. I pulled my antenna in, my GMRS antenna, and it had little chew marks all the way down. And it was all rusty. I was like, oh, isn't that great?
Yeah, along with I do drop anymore when these storms come in. The way I have where I'm talking, the antenna I'm talking off now, I do drop that down. And I hadn't had power until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We got hammered here in Valley.
Oh, I know. There's good storms up this way as well, but, you know, you were further south than me, so you got it worse. And I know there was major flooding as well.
I didn't get any rain today.
No, this was last night. Yeah, we got nailed. My garage started flooding, which makes no sense because that's the highest drain in the house. The basement didn't flood, thank God, where the studio is. But I had to deal with the garage.
Oh, it did rain overnight because it was wet this morning. But whatever happened, I don't know how the severity was because I slept through it.
It rained crazy hard for a bit last night.
Yeah, I slept through it all, so I can't give you a report on it.
So that drain in your garage, where does that go? Is that like a French drain? Because if the soil gets saturated, it's coming up.
No, it's a quick story. All my rain gutters and everything lead to 2 downpipes that go out along my driveway. And I've been fighting a groundhog behind my house. So I think the stupid groundhog went down and must have clogged up, maybe bit through or broke one of the pipes behind my garage. So I'm thinking the 2 back downspouts are now kind of clogged, and when we get that really quick, hard rain, it backs up into my garage.
Oh, man, you have battled wildlife. That sucks.
Yeah, my dad loaned me a camera, one of those like long telescopic ones, and I threw it down the drain in the garage as far as I could, and I didn't see anything, but I think it's behind the house. Well, luckily, a buddy of mine owns a drain company, that kind of stuff. So he said he'd take a look at it one of these days.
Stick one of those roto-rooter things down there.
Yeah, the problem is behind my house where the stupid groundhog's living, it was like an old flower bed kind of thing, and then turned into like a rock garden. So I got huge rocks
With a shovel, I can't really dig. So, but yeah, I've been fighting with that groundhog for 2 years now.
Roto-Rooter, that's the name. Wash your troubles down the drain.
So we gonna call you Carl Spackler from now on?
All you have to do is put a live trap out there. You'll get them.
Put a 22 out there.
Yeah, that's even better. 22 will take care of it.
Yeah, my only concern is if I find him behind the house, I don't worry about that. But if he's to the left or the right of the house, I kind of got to worry which way I'm firing.
Well, if you hit him, you don't have to worry.
Yeah, or use CB caps. They don't travel far.
That's true. I do have. I don't, but there's things I have.
Yeah, even a wrist rocket with a, half-ounce lead weight.
I'm telling you, all you got to do is trap it, and then you get a big bucket of water and drop it in.
Well, the Have a Heart live trap, that would make my wife happier if you caught them that way and turned them loose somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not, as much as I'm a meat eater, and I've never hunted, but I don't care anything about that stuff. If I catch him, because when I had that squirrel in my studio, I bought some Have a Heart traps. I will catch him and I'll take him down, a couple miles away to the farm or the fields and let him loose.
That's right. You're a humanitarian.
Yeah, we take them. What are you trying to capture? I know they can't make it back.
I'm perfectly fine with anything getting, let's say, killed. If it's used, I kind of have an issue with just, shooting something or killing something for something.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, if it's ruining your home.
That's right. That's why I'll capture them and turn them loose somewhere else and let them ruin someone else's home.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who I don't like that I could let them off at their house.
Oh no.
Hello, old JR.
Hey, good evening. What's he trying to capture anyway?
A groundhog.
Ah. Yeah, my neighbor got a lot of them up on his place, but I don't have none down here. Yeah, well, they're irrigating the ground.
You want one? I'll bring you one out.
Well, I don't know. I think you ought to cook them up and eat them and try them first.
I think you'd be glad to drop them off at your place and give them a home.
You guys are just too generous. I'm not used to this.
His name's Fred. He likes to dig in dirt, eat carrots, and long walks in the field at night.
What's that groundhog's name that does the lottery? What's his name?
Punxsutawney Phil. Oh, no, that's the other one. Oh, hell. Something, I can't remember now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That's Gus.
That's it. That's Gus. There you go. Yeah, Gus will do. I'll take Gus.
Yeah, that's it, Gus.
Yeah, I won the lottery with a groundhog that I think ruined my drain.
How'd he ruin your drain?
Quick recap. So all my drains meet together and go to two drains going out my long driveway. Well, his home is behind my garage, and I think he burrowed in and broke one of the conduits and clogged it. So when it rains real hard, luckily now my garage gets full of water.
Oh, I don't know. I think Gus is getting blamed for something he might not have done. How you doing there, Dave, by the way?
I'm a little frustrated tonight, but other than that, I'm okay.
Oh, no. Wow, what's up the frustration in you?
I got this interference on 27120. It's 5 kilohertz away, but it's enough to leak in and make it hard for me to hear grassers.
Is that something you had before? I know you mentioned something, but is it the same one?
Yeah, I've had it for about a month or two, and it's right to my north. I point the beam that way. Interestingly enough, I used to be able to null it out just south of east, but now it doesn't null out until I go all the way south. I don't know what that. Something shifted, but the straight on direction is still there. So I don't know what it is. I have no clue. I took a drive around the block and kind of narrowed it down to a few houses, but it doesn't like peak and go away. It peaks and goes down and comes back and goes down, and then it finally fades completely away. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with cable TV. They just put fiber optic cables in not too long ago, and I'm wondering if they're just starting to activate that stuff, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. But I don't know why you would need to transmit on 27 120. It's an ISM frequency, but it's got like a little buzz to it, little like a 60 hertz or I don't know. It's a weird signal. I can't detect any changes in it, like it would, it's not sending telemetry or anything digital that I can tell.
Boy, you wouldn't think with fiber optics, the process of that, you wouldn't think you wouldn't get nothing off of that. But that's speculation. But you said you drove around the block there and over the north side, you picked up the high signal in that area. I don't know. Did you check a pole in that area just for curiosity's sake?
There are no poles. Everything's underground.
Oh God. Well, here I got an idea for you. You go borrow Gus off a joker. You tie a receiver around his neck on the collar and let him burrow in and let him find it.
Remote control groundhog.
That's what I was going to say. You find the area, I'll give you a groundhog, we're all good.
You got to get creative sometimes. Yeah, that's no fun. I feel for you. That kind of stuff drives me bananas.
Yeah, I mean it's bad enough I have a lot of noise to begin with. Now add that to it.
I just wanted that quick add. Is 123 in there talking?
Well, I heard Green Dog.
It was a little low. It almost sounded like 123, but it might have been Green Dog.
Hope you can hear me now.
Oh yeah.
I certainly can. How you doing, Green Dog?
But when you started talking about borrowing Gus and sending them down on it just reminded me of Russia and the submarines and taking out the transatlantic cables under the sea.
Well, I didn't want to quite go that far on the radio, but yeah, it's the kind of same mind thought.
See, I lived on a golf course for a couple of years, so whenever I think of this stuff, I always think of Caddyshack.
I'm getting out of here, gentlemen. I'll catch you Sunday.
See you later, Sandman.
Rightio, have a good night. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure, brother, as always.
Trees.
Catch you later, Sandman. Didn't know you were in there. I barely hear you, but I got you. Have a good evening.
Have a good one.
He must be on the other side of the mountain.
He's near Bethlehem.
We'll do it.
So it's subtle. When you figure out an area that you think, giving you the issues, I'll bring the groundhog.
It's either that, you'll have to get on your ham radio and notch it out, maybe.
Well, that's the thing, you know. The one radio that would probably work is the ICOM 746, because I've got notch filters in that, and that would take it right out. But I didn't want to run that.
Well, that's only if you have one of these nights like tonight and it's in there wrecking your head and frustrating you. Then you throw that on. You introduce yourself with whatever classic you got, and then you change it over.
Yeah, I kept trying different radios tonight because I thought maybe I'd have a little bit more IF bandwidth rejection on some. Now I'm on the Yaesu. I wanted to try that. I can shift the width all the way to the one side and kind of knock it down, but even this one won't eliminate it. This isn't as fancy as the other one, though. It doesn't have all the notch filters and all this.
I'll have to get on my radio and see if I pick anything up. Probably not that big of a signal. What kind of signals does it give you anyway?
If I point the beam at it, it gives me 20 over.
Oh, good grief. Let me see if I can catch a glimpse of it.
Yeah, 27120.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Why'd it get so quiet?
I don't get nothing on it at all, on the vertical or the flat side. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's probably not strong enough to radiate very far, but it's close enough to annoy me.
I wonder if you could put a receiver on your VNA. Would that help you out any? And use that for a tracking device?
I don't know if the VNA would be the thing, but what I do have, I can borrow from Olaf. He's got a little handheld spectrum analyzer, which is, like the size of a VNA. That might be handy enough to do it.
That would be the ticket.
All right, there you go. That's cool. Yeah. Pinpoint that bad boy down and get a hold of some folks there, and they'll tend to it.
Well, see, that all depends. I mean, if it's doing what it's supposed to do, then, too bad for me.
That's not the case. Don't they have to fly by the FCC?
Well, I mean, if it's an ISM device, then it's, I mean, this band was created after the ISM stuff, and it was always one of those things where you got to accept interference and things like that from these devices, and it's it is what it is. Same thing with those trains, those trains create all kinds of interference with their positive track control or whatever, and there's nothing you can do about that either.
Yeah, too bad for us.
That's a shame. That's what that is. To start derailing the trains.
Yeah, the problem is from what I understand on the trains, I researched a little bit on the system, how it works and all. The RF that's radiating beam on this channel for the trains is used strictly as a power source. They aim the RF at these sensors in the track, and it powers them up, and then they transmit somewhere else. Whatever telemetry it is, and these carriers on this frequency is used strictly as an RF power source. It's evidently a lot of power with some kind of concentrated antenna mounted underneath the train to light up them sensors.
Oh, man. Sounds like you need a high sophisticated signal generator. I wonder if you could toy with them that way.
No, not the trains. Because the trains, there's no intelligence on that signal. It's just used to light up the sensors. You can't really jam it because it's not receiving anything. And that's why I'm wondering, in my situation here, whether this thing is just putting out a signal for whatever reason, and it's not transmitting it to somebody. I don't know. I'm gonna take myself a little crappy mobile radio. I'm gonna put it on 120, and like old 05 used to say, if I can't talk on my radio, I'll drop them all day long.
Well, be interesting. Well, I don't know. Let me know. I'd be curious to see what that is. And I like the idea of if it is an actual transmission that's doing something somewhere for some reason. And then, you could play with it, I guess. But good luck. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hear guys like Bytebuster, It doesn't bother me when I'm talking to the locals here, but if I try to talk to anybody a little further out, Goose and 123 is not so bad because if I point the beam down their way, I'm nulling it out and it knocks it way down. But if I got to go a little bit north of east, then it starts coming in.
Well, we could always drop down to 12. You'd be out of that mess. But I don't know about how many would agree on all that.
Yeah, I know. That would solve the problem, is moving down a channel. But we've been on 13 for so long now. It's kind of like a thing.
Hey, there he is. Go ahead there, Breaker, standing by.
I just wanted to check in. I'm a little bit late. I just plugged my antenna in.
There he is. Hiya, Wayne.
Wayne!
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Wayne.
Hiya, Wayne.
Good evening, Wayne. Good evening there, Mr. Wayne. You're quiet, but I hear you.
Yeah, we've been calling for you.
Are you still on your beam pointed north or something, Pete?
That's correct. And that's also where I have JR stronger than on my stick.
Yeah, because you're weaker than Wayne.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, you cut my lips off to Wayne.
I wonder why you hear me better north. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I got you half an S unit stronger with the beam to the north than I do on the stick.
That's bizarre.
Ay. Mysteries.
You hear me all right, don't you?
Water tower somewhere out there.
You hear me all right, don't you?
Oh, yeah, you're fine. No worries.
Yeah, I know I'm not pointed at you. I'm pointed at Bytebuster. But it was Bytebuster and Sandman were out there, and the beam worked out better for them, for me to hear them.
Now your signal's fluctuating. You got multipath going on.
Oh yeah. Like the last few minutes, I've been watching your signal do the James Brown.
Yeah, there's some weird reflections.
You go from an S4 up to a 7 on your swing, on this meter anyway.
Yeah, I could improve that if I pointed the beam to you, but then I'd lose Bite Buster. I gained 2 S units on Bite Buster on the beam over the stick.
Yeah, don't do that for me. I hear you fine. I have no issues. Leave it where it's at. Leave it where you're happy.
Maybe signal was like picket fencing there for a little bit.
Power changed again. This thing doesn't hold a steady. Now, it is 40 years old. So.
What'd you say there, Mike?
I said there for a little bit, your signals and Dave were picket fencing. You know, that weird kind of sound.
Oh yeah, a little bit of multipath going on. I'm not getting that off of you so much, but I'm definitely getting that off of Dave.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like airplane going by or what?
No, it's just topography mostly, probably. I know there's some people will say planes going by, and I guess that's possible, but I'm less inclined to believe that than just topography and actual atmospherics and temperature changes along the way.
Well, I could tell you, I know with my TV and the antenna, sometimes when the car goes by, the signal gets crappy of, whatever channel I'm watching.
Yeah, that's also UHF, which is much more susceptible to reflections. Here's one for you. I used to be on 1.2 gigahertz, and I had a little portable dish antenna that I built for 1.2 gigahertz. And when I first moved here, there was a 1.2 gigahertz FM repeater up around Bethlehem somewhere that I used to use. And if I pointed that dish at the right direction to that repeater, I couldn't get into it. So fooling around, knowing that those frequencies bounce off of crap, I pointed that dish in the complete opposite direction at the Limerick Towers, and I was able to get into that repeater.
Well, I guess did it have the height?
The towers certainly do.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever works.
It just goes to show, though, the smaller you go in wavelength, the more you can use stuff to bounce the signal off of to make it work. And that was a perfect example of that.
Well, what happened to Joker? Did you fall asleep out there?
Nope, I'm here. Just listening to the conversation.
So did you finish your harness wire?
Yeah. The fun part was they chewed it like right to within an eighth of an inch of the plug. So I had to make sure, luckily it was only a 3-wire in that specific harness, but I had to make sure I remembered the orientation of the gray wire, the blue wire, and the black wire. But then they chewed up along it, so I had to cut it all open and find where it stopped and make sure I had enough and pull the little pins out. So it was a lot of fun.
Didn't sound like fun to me.
So fun fact, within the last 2 years between my Subaru, brand new, well, it was brand new 2 years ago, and my wife, she had a new Ford Escape, which both used the soy plastic. The first estimate, we had rodents get in both of them. For some reason, when I lived at the farm, I had nothing. Come to the new house, I have issues now in the garage and out front. They caused, the first estimate to fix my car was $5,000 to fix the harness.
Years ago, about 15 years ago, we had field mice move into the wife's GMC pickup truck engine compartment, and the fuse box is in the engine compartment. They made a nest, and their urine corroded a bunch of stuff in the fuse box. And she comes home one day and turns the truck off and has the key in her hand, comes in the house, and she goes, "My truck is still running."
Oops, I think Rooster's in there. Yeah, I mean, so they queued on my car, the front valance underneath, like the splash shield, windshield thing, under the rad support area. It's a perfect walking area for them. So they queued the hood latch notification wires, my O2 sensors, and something else. And they wanted to do the whole harness, and it was $5,000. And fault with the insurance company, they fixed it. A few months later, they did it again. So that was another $600 out of pocket. And then a few months later, the wife's like, my check engine light came on. They queued her O2 sensor.
I think they have some kind of scent you can put under there, like pine, little bags of pine scent that you can put under your hood.
Tea tree oil.
I bought a peppermint spray, and then I bought a little. I was gonna say 1 second. Rooster, as soon as I'm done here, you can chime in. Sorry about that. Rodent repellent tape, electrical style tape, and they sell this very fine little brass mesh. So you can cut it with scissors. It's very soft. So everywhere where they chewed twice, I wrapped it with this very fine little copper wet, mesh, and then I taped it with the rodent repellent tape. And go ahead there, Rooster.
Good grief.
Oh, man.
I think Rooster's having trouble hearing. But he kept keying up on Pete before. Because he can't hear him.
Oh, no. Well, what I said is captured on the video gate because nobody could cut my lips off there.
That's true.
I did understand what you were saying about the wife's fuse box and the GMC. Was it GMC?
Yeah, GMC Sierra. And the urine corroded into the fuse box and messed some stuff up. But she came into the house with the keys in her hand. And she goes, "My truck's still running. I can't shut it off."
Yeah, rodents are such a pain. Once that happened to my car, my curiosity and OCD took over. So I really started doing a lot of research on it. And apparently the modern cars, to cheap out on the plastics, they use a soy-based plastic, and the rodents love it. I was looking at pictures of like Hondas that had the plastic intakes completely chewed off. They would chew the entire intakes off.
Yeah. Well, after that incident, we bought her a shed, and we cleaned out my garage, and all the vehicles started going in garages after that point. Like, we ain't going through that again.
Well, see, the problem is I have a 2-car garage connected to my house, and they get in there. My show truck and my Falcon, my suspension parts, I had a 2-link on it, which was made out of square tubing. They made nests in the 2-link, and then they made nests in the Falcon. And last year I went to take the truck out in the early spring, and I went to turn the defrosters on, and my blower motor wouldn't run. So I took the blower motor out, and it made a huge nest in the blower motor.
Yeah, you got to take some active action in some cases, but us parking them in the garages, we haven't had any problems since knocking on simulated wood grain vinyl.
Yeah, like I said, I was using dryer sheets, and then I bought a peppermint spray, and I was just spraying peppermint spray on it, because apparently they don't like the peppermint.
And And then, yeah, we have the exterminators come and put, you know, I don't know, the poison boxes for field mice in the garages. And that seems to solve the problem.
The only problem with that is the mouse eats that, right? Then it goes outside and it dies. Along comes a fox and sees it and eats it, and two dies.
Well, you know, the world's not perfect. And why did your signal go back into the dirt?
Oh, because I turned off my amp for a second.
Well, that doesn't help me hear you, but I did hear you.
Well, I've done that too because they were digging underneath my external going underneath the pad. Right there. And they all
I got an early day tomorrow and a bunch of things to do. So, catch everyone later. Have a good one, and we'll do it again next week. Classic Radio Roundup.
All right. Well, I got what you said there, Dave, but that was a bit of a mess for a bit because Mike was transmitting, and I think Rooster keyed up, and you keyed up, and then it got really messy. But I got the gist of everything, and we'll let it roll because I'm right behind you. So it is a school night. So thanks for the fun on Classic Radio Roundup. Look for the video gate sometime tomorrow, county-wide.
Hey, catch you, Dave. Catch you, Pete. All right, Dave. I heard everything you said. Believe me, I did. Hey, have yourself a good night. Catch you later on there. Good to hear you in there. And Petey, 73s don't work too hard, buddy. Catch you later. Enjoy.
Catch you guys then. I should be on Sunday night. Not sure about next Wednesday, but you guys have a good one.
Yeah, hey, whatever happened to Night Train? Oh, anyway, we'll catch you guys later.
Hey, don't forget. Hey, just keep it in mind, Kibberton Handfest, August 9th. Be there or be square.
Oh, I'll be there. Yes, sir. I'll definitely be there. 10-4. Roger, roger.
Oh, then you get a chance to meet VW then.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, he left me now, so that'd be awesome. Finally.
Yeah, I'm planning on going. Whether I buy anything or not is irrelevant. I'm going for the social occasion, and then if there's something I need to have, well, then so be it. But anyway, yeah. You know, if you can make it to the Kimberton Fest, the more the merrier. County-wide.
That's right. I'll get all my little knickknacks there. My supplies, you know, reload again for next year. All right, catch you later, Petey.
I'd love to make it out there, but I'll be in Carlisle.
Carlisle, what's out there?
I leave first thing Thursday morning. I'll tell you, or not tomorrow, but next week. It's the big All Truck Nationals car show.
Are you taking your truck?
Yeah. My club. There's a good amount of us going out there. We're one of the official clubs for Carlisle Truck Show. We have a big 20 by 20 tent they set up for us, and it's a big all weekend affair.
All right, well, have a good time there. I wish you luck. Have a lot of fun with it. And I don't know, do you look for parts or anything while you're up there? I know sometimes there's vendors up there, right?
Yeah, I really don't look for parts anymore. You will walk through the car corral, we'll walk through the parts and stuff, and if anything catches my fancy, but I'm not really going out there to actively buy. I literally go out there Thursday morning, park the truck at our tent, and pretty much have a party until Sunday morning.
Hey, okay, well, enjoy. Yeah, absolutely enjoy it, and, good luck. Good luck with all that. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I skipped a few years, but my first year going out for the All Truck Nationals was 1995.
Wow, 1995. I barely remember then. No, only kidding. Yeah, but that's some years behind you there. Yes, sir.